Watching The Witching Hour really reignited my love for this story and this book and made me want to sit down and have a more serious, long form conversation on why I feel that the creators of this show missed the mark. Now, I feel really strange saying that the creators missed the mark because Anne Rice and her son were directly involved in bringing this show to life. But the decisions that were made, even down to casting the characters, makes me feel like they really just didn't get it. Please excuse my dog back there. Now, when we talk about film and TV adaptations from a book, things are never going to be one-to-one. There always have to be things that are changed. But in the finished product of that TV show or that movie, we should still feel the essence of the book. And I feel like that was lost, and it gets lost a lot. When we are adapting things, I think the essence gets lost so often because the people who are hired to write these shows and the scripts for these films are not actual fans. Now, I'm not talking about a fanboy person, but the person who is adapting it should understand the essence of what they're writing. They should understand the source material, and I think that if they actually like the source material, that your end result will come out better. But I don't feel like they were firing on all cylinders. The writers, the casting directors, the director, they were not meshing well. I'll give you an example. Lasher. The actor who played Lasher, I think he did all right with the material that he was given, but that actor was not able to exude Lasher. Now, in the book, Lasher is described as a demon or maybe a spectral spirit. But what makes Lasher unique is that he is able to get into these witches' minds, and he is able to turn himself into the ideal man for whatever witch he is attempting to manipulate. That is why he is able to wield control over generations of the witches in this family. And I think the key to a good, phenomenal actor is that that actor can step into the role and make us see the character in him. When an actor is really, really good, you don't even see the actor anymore. You just see the character. That actor, no disrespect to him, he just was not able to give that. Now, the book, The Witching Hour, was well over 1,000 pages. And when I look at that, I see that as a framework, a guide, or even a map for someone who is sitting down to adapt the story. Now, for me, the story was nearly perfect. So to sit down to adapt that and decide that you are going to change things reads to me as disrespect. And not only disrespect, but again, a misunderstanding of the story. Now, I have no insider information. I have no clue why they changed what they changed. I'm just giving my opinion. Here's an example to further explain what I mean. In the show, Cyprian is a combination of two characters from the book. One, a Talamasca member, and the other, Michael, who is Rowan's love interest. Now, in the book, Michael almost acts as a tether to reality for Rowan. Lasher is in her head, he is manipulating her, and he is, in essence, trying to get her to do what he wants. He's trying to get her to comply. And Michael is there in reality, holding her steady. Like, hey, I love you. Don't listen to what he says. He does not want the best for you. So turning Michael into Cyprian and then very clearly showing us that Cyprian has ulterior motives removes Rowan's tether to reality, which pushes her into the darkness further and faster. By doing that, they are removing all of the fight out of Rowan. And the first book is the push and pull of her between Lasher. And in the end, Lasher does get what he wants, but he has to fight really, really hard to get it. They erased all of that, and I do not understand why. It took an entire 1,000-page book for Lasher to get what he wanted out of her. And now they gave it to him in 8 episodes. 8 very unfulfilling episodes. So they are in essence not telling the witching hour story that I sat and read. They are telling a completely different story, which is okay, but don't bait us in with the Mayfair Witches, the witching hour, if you're not going to tell essentially the same story. And if you are going to do that, I'm okay with that. But it needs to be better. It needs to be better. You can't give us subpar story. I was also confused with the Tessa and Witch Hunter storyline. Tessa is not a book character. She was completely created for the TV show as well as these witch hunters. Now again, we have 1,000 pages of source material, of stories that you could tell. Why are you creating new characters and new stories 4 episodes in, 5 episodes in? I just do not understand. There is a pretty thick portion in the middle of the book that gives us the history of this witch family. And off the top of my head, at least 2 of them were killed by town folks who did not want witches around and who did not understand their power. These were very, very good stories. Why erase those stories to tell us a subpar, stupid story about a dumb young witch that walked herself directly into the line of fire? Now, if anybody walks themselves into the line of fire, it should be Rowan, because she just learned that she was a witch. She doesn't really know how to control her powers efficiently. She doesn't really know the magnitude of her powers. So if anybody is going to be making dumb mistakes, it should be Rowan. It should not be Tessa, the witch who was born a witch in a proud witch family, who has lived in New Orleans, who knows the game. Why would she walk herself into such danger? The only reason her storyline existed was to push Rowan into the darkness faster. But again, why? Why are we doing this? Then in the last 2 episodes, for the majority of the time, they had Rowan passed out on the ground. Why? Okay, she's passed out. Could we have her visited by the ghost of these previous witches, warning her about Lasher, maybe telling some of the history of these witches? No, we have her sitting in a mud shack having sex with Lasher. We have her walking through the mansion looking at her ancestors, not actually interacting with them, not talking to them, not learning backstory, just looking at them doing stuff. I am not a writer. I am just a really, really big fan of this book. I am not saying that I could write anything better, but I feel like all of these were just a long list of missteps. And now that we are here, we cannot go back. We have to deal with these actors who do not give these roles justice. We have to deal with the subpar writing. We have to deal with the subpar props. Another thing that bothered me was the emerald. This emerald means so much in the book. It is so important. But here, it's just a key with a jewel in it. It just feels like they really misunderstood what they were doing. All right, this video is 9 minutes long, and all I did was sit here and complain. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. I have a lot more to say. If y'all want to hear it, I'll be willing to say it. But I don't think that I'm going to give season 2 the time of day. I might if I'm bored enough, but right now it's a no for me.